This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
Always follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the sports betting network. Mitch Moss along with Paulie Howard. Yeah, we're live in downtown Las Vegas from the Circa Resort Casino. What a 3-hour program we have lined up today. Fantasy Football Hall of Famer Paul Charchian in 30 minutes. Best bets with the meat man Steve Wiss in an hour. David Baker will be great in 90 minutes. A lot to get into with him. Survivor, Why No Chop, in Grandissimo, this week, Thanksgiving, Week 13B, all of it here at Circa. And how high is he still on Baltimore after he got down on Ravens futures? And what do you want to tell the audience, Paulie, about J.R. Starkus coming in studio in 2 hours? Can we put the follow the money stamp of approval that he is an unbelievable guest every time he's in?
Mm-hmm. Apparently this drink he's making is off the charts. So it's going to be awesome, from what I understand.
He is going to make your Thanksgiving that much better when he makes a drink that you're going to have on hand next Thursday. We can promise you that. All right, so it's a big one tonight, Thursday Night Football. I would say it's a big one, obviously, for both teams. Bills lose, maybe they miss the playoffs. If Houston, well, if they lose, forget about it. Season's pretty much done. But if they can win this game, there's absolutely a path where Houston could be a playoff team, and I think they would be dangerous with that defense. But how about this? In prime time, the Buffalo Bills overall as a team, Thursday, Sunday, Monday, going back 19-9 straight up, 15-13 ATS last 28. On Thursday Night Football alone, Josh Allen 8-0 straight up with an average margin of victory of 14 points per game.
Well, I'd love Houston if it was Stroud. So it's unfortunate he's still out. You're right. You mess around, you can find out if Buffalo loses this game. You still have to go to Pittsburgh. Now it looks like you're taking on Joe Burrow in a couple weeks. You go to New England, you also have the Eagles. So they have to get this defense fixed.
Yeah.
This run defense has been so bad. But you're right. If they blow this one tonight, that's certainly in play that they could miss. And I also agree with you that Houston would be dangerous, but they're not going to make it based on how many losses they took on earlier in the season and that bad loss against Jacksonville. To me, it's an under game. It screams under. That the great breakdown on ESPN.com that the Bills are going to slow the tempo down to help out their defense that has so many injuries, and you are so banged up with your wide receivers and tight ends that it could be runs with Allen, ball control, here's a little Cook, here's a little passes to Cook and Johnson that worked so well last week, and let's chew the clock and let's shorten the game, which they're going to have problems getting these guys open even if they were healthy against this nasty Houston defense.
Right.
So now Coleman is benched again.
Yeah.
You don't have Kincaid again. You just picked up Gabe Davis, although he had 3 for 40 and was good. You're throwing at guys like Davis and Shavers and Johnson. So it was an unbelievable performance by Allen, what he did last week. But now I want to see what they're able to do here against a great defense.
Paul, that's so well said and a great breakdown. And that's the only way I could look at this game in terms of Buffalo and their approach overall. And I think it is going to be a lot of Allen and a lot of Cook on the ground, and then the short stuff as well, dump-offs. I mean, I would look at maybe playing some of the running backs over with the receptions. Also, I would look at playing Josh Allen like completions and certainly attempts under in this game.
His rushing yards are low.
Yes, absolutely it is. Yeah, and it's coming down, by the way. And and the total is going up in the game. So the market is on the other side. This has gone from 43.5 to 44.5. So I'm like you. I like the under in the game. We might as well wait, because if it ticks up to like a 45, okay, I'll take every half point that we can get in betting the under in this game. And again, last year, Josh Allen, this will tell you how good the Houston defense is. And it's better this year than it was last year. Josh Allen was 9 of 30. He won the MVP last year. He was so good. And they had that stretch of games where they scored 30-plus. They set an all-time NFL record for most consecutive games scoring at least 30-plus. He was 9 of 30 throwing the ball in that game. Had no chance.
Yep. It should have been a blowout. Stroud was awful in the second half. From the Houston, the other thing, Shakir had 1 catch last week.
Right.
That's another one.
Like the overall Buffalo Bills receivers that you can actually trust to have good games, I would only look at playing the unders here. But you wanted Gabe Davis because it should be a short number anyway.
Yeah. I mean, they have a rapport. They were on the same page last week. These books are late to post. Let's go. Let's get some Gabe Davis up there. They have anytime touchdown available, but they don't have receptions or yards up as well. How about from the Houston standpoint? I mean, this has got to be, isn't this interesting today? They cut Dameon Pierce. Boy, how things have changed.
I know.
He was so good a couple of years ago. You're thinking rookie of the year. The start he was off to. But it should be a lot of marks. Buffalo's horrible against the run. It should be dump-offs to marks as well. But Mills has been pretty good in there. You know, that great comeback against Jacksonville in the fourth quarter. Nico Collins is back, and he's delivering. Jaden Higgins has been a target machine 3 of the last 4 games. And hello, Dalton Schultz, who's been good the last 3 games. So I could see a lot of guys here eating and going over with their longest reception and over their yardage here with the weapons they have, and with Nico, Schultz, Higgins. And I think it could be a big game on the ground for Marks. And if you want to put those same game parlays together and ladder his yards and throw in an anytime touchdown, I think that's a good way to attack it as well.
Now, how about Woody Marks overall, Paulie? Always shop around. He's 61.5 at FanDuel. He's 66.5 at DraftKings. I'm gonna flip it. I think it's a high number there on him. I want to buy low on Nick Chubb.
Oh, you do?
Oh, yeah. He has to get over 20.5 yards rushing.
How many carries he's going to get?
That might take 5.
Yeah, all right.
You give me 5 carries with Nick Chubb, he might go over that number. Because I want to look at Mark's receiving yards in this game. You can get Buffalo in the air, throwing the football to running backs. And Marks, in theory, is a guy that they should be throwing the ball to more. He has good hands overall. And I'm concerned here that against Tennessee's defense last year, he couldn't get anything last week, couldn't get anything going at all. And for what it's worth, Davis Mills also 8.5 with the rushing yards.
Yeah, What do you want to do? That, a longest rush, or both? Ozzie loves longest rush.
Yeah, I think because the longest rush is right around 7.5.
And he keeps getting there, too.
He does. I would look at maybe playing both, but I think maybe the longest where he's going to take off at least once and get you those 10 yards, and boom, you can forget about it the rest of the game in case they're winning, and then kneel downs come into play.
Yeah.
But I think this is a really good game, potentially, just because I'm so high, and most people are, on Houston's defense and how they're going to match up with the reigning MVP. Yep. Also, on the road since 2018, Josh Allen 37-22 to the under. D'Amico Ryans against winning teams 17-6 to the under, and 19 of the last 29 Thursday Night Football home dogs have gone under 43.5. And again, now this number ticked up to 44.5.
Indulge me here. Let's say Houston steals one and gets the big win, right? You go to 6-5, you get your star quarterback back. Then you play the Colts and Chiefs. Can you split?
Yeah.
Maybe. And then you close Arizona, Raiders, Chargers, Colts. Colts might sit people. This is doable. They can still do this. Got to get this one tonight, though. But I also wouldn't be surprised if then they could go into Indy and fluster Danny Dimes, and you get Stroud back, and you can win a high-scoring game.
Of course you can do that.
Right? And how well that defense has played against Mahomes.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I don't know if the Colts are going to be sitting people.
That final game?
I think
I'm saying that's a possibility. I know.
I think there's an angle here where the Colts are going to lose a lot of games coming up.
Oh, interesting.
Their schedule
do
is...
that too. All right, fair enough.
Yeah, it completely flips because it was so easy to begin, and now it's when it gets really, really difficult. So, I look at Allen, by the way, he opened. First number I saw on him with the rushing yards, 34.5. You can find as low as 30.5 now. And so based on everything that we just said then, how many carries do you think we're going to get out of... But he called... Josh Allen referred to James Cook this week as Jimbo, which is like the best thing I've heard all week. How do we not get on board with Jimbo Cook?
Yeah.
Come on.
That's that, I know.
But is he going to have... Are they just going to... If they want to shorten the game, give their defense a break, not have Allen under duress, and have Anderson and Hunter coming around the edge on every single play, and that great front that they have. And by the way, a very good secondary. Houston's numbers across the board are elite defensively. Is Cook going to get like 23 carries in the game? I could see that maybe taking place.
Yeah. Hello. Our guy is back. Fairbairn is back. 17-3 overrun. 1.5 field goals. It is plus money at Caesars. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
It was plus 111. It's now plus 107. Over 1.5. Again, he missed from 50 in that first meeting at Jacksonville. It had been an 18-2 run. So you want to play that. You want to play over 3.5 made field goals in the game. Houston longest field goal. That's up there at Caesars and Will Hill. All that's up there as our guys back now.
Yeah, let me give you some of the Opta AI projections for the game tonight. Very good. You can find these vsin.com/NFL props. Become a subscriber. And you can get them all for the rest of the year, obviously, and the NBA. They have Josh Allen right on his passing yards number, so nothing there. They are actually projecting Davis Mills for 233 yards in the air. His prop is about 213.5. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
When you go down to the rushing yards overall, Josh Allen stays way under. They're projecting 24. They have Nick Chubb going over. They have Davis Mills going over. And they actually have James Cook at about 70, which would stay under that prop for him. I'll try to look at carries. We'll get you the other Opta AI numbers here throughout the rest of the show as well.
Want the ultimate Vegas weekend? VSiN and Circa have you covered. The first 100 new VSiN Pro annual subscribers who sign up using promo code CIRCA, free 3-night stay. The 2nd through the 5th and a day bed at Stadium Swim for the final weekend of the NFL regular season. You'll also save 50% off the monthly price, full year of VSiN Pro, every best bet, every host, every guest, the AI-powered prop tools. They love Zach LaVine tonight. Check them out every day. NBA, NFL, every betting guide. Don't miss your shot. This exclusive Circa getaway. VSiN.com/Circa, promo code Circa, free 3-night stay, and the day bed at Stadium Swim the 2nd through the 5th. VSiN.com/Circa.
That is an incredible offer, one of the best we've ever had here, I think, on the network. By the way, the Opta AI projections have Chubb getting 6 carries. You give me 6 carries, I think he's going to go over 20 yards in the game. Paulie's going to recap last night's betting action. Win some, lose some is up next. The Knicks became the first team in history to shoot this poorly and still win. Details coming up.
If you're serious about football betting, VSiN's got your weekend game plan. Fridays at 7 p.m., it's the Circa Friday Football Invitational. Saturday morning, VSiN's college football tailgate show at 9 a.m., breaking down matchups, props, and big-time bets. Later that night, join the football contest show as the sharpest betting minds give you their picks for Sunday's game. And Sunday at 9 a.m., lock in with Mitch and Paulie on VSiN's Pro Football Tailgate Show. Your final stop before kickoff. Check out the full lineup at VSiN.com and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
This is VSiN, a network of sports betting analysts, writers, hosts, and handicappers, all here to help you become a more confident bettor. We broadcast live every day from Las Vegas, the sports betting capital of the world, and from studios across the country, giving you insight from every angle of the action. Take VSiN with you wherever you go with the VSiN Watch app, or catch us on streaming platforms and regional sports networks. You can also listen live on SiriusXM Channel 158 and on radio stations nationwide. Check out VSiN.com as well for betting tools, exclusive betting splits, AI-powered player prop projections from Opta, pro picks for every game, plus in-depth betting guides and articles built to give you an edge. From sharp betting analysis and daily best bets to insider interviews and expert breakdowns, VSiN is your trusted source for everything happening in the world of sports betting. See everything we have to offer at VSiN.com and become part of the Sports Betting Network.
On the next A Numbers Game, it is Friday. That means football, football, football. We got you covered. Steve Fezzik, all of his football plays, college and pro, and anything else on his mind from a sports betting perspective, and he's got a lot on his mind. Trust me on that. Plus, Dr. Bob with his college football play of the week, coming off another winner. Chris Valika with his bevy of college football plays, and Paul Carr, a little global football. He's got some Premier League thoughts and bets. It's A Numbers Game, 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific, right here at VSiN.
Some, Lose Some is sponsored by the Sharp Plays.
Were you a winner last night?
Wow, winning.
Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser!
Paulie Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
All right, the Heat from 6 up to 10.5, covered against Golden State. Outscored him 38-22 in the fourth quarter. Bam only took 4 threes, but made 3 of them. There you go, big fella. Bombs away with Bam. Rockets +4 went off the favorite. Took care of the Cavs as they are on fire. They've won 10 of 11. 114-104. Middle Tennis, William and Mary +330 on the money line. Beat Bowling Green 82-74. And as Arizona beat UConn +180 on the money line. Hurley after the game, they bunked us 71-67. Boy, the Big 12 is stacked at the top.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
That's a good league. Subscribe, be part of the team. VSiN.com, our radio and podcast friends. You always want to see these tweets and videos at Paulie Does Vegas on Instagram. Send them in. We'll put you on. Great job by the SoCal people, the Los Angeles drivers. There was a dog loose on the 405, and look how everyone started going 5 miles an hour, pulling over, trying to help him, get him off the freeway, trying to get him in the car, kept running away. Cops got involved. It was a beautiful thing. And everything, finally, they got him off to the side and got him off the freeway and off to the side. And an excellent job by everyone with those drivers. And it's interesting, this came out today. I was talking to my guy, Jordan Scott. He rescued a dog the other day off the freeway.
Did he really?
And there you see him getting to safety on the side. Great job by the people in SoCal. Awesome. This is good. Mama keeping the puppies in check compilation. Very good. You can't get the treat unless you sit down. You got to sit for the treat, right? Tap him on the head. Here, grabbing the owner's shoe. Knock that off. Coming over. No good. Right? Can't do that. Here's another one. Patting him on the head. You got to lay down for the treat. You got to sit. You can't do that, right? Helping him out. Here's another one where the dog's going there. No, I mean, this is great. I'll put that up later. Send that to me, Luke. A great compilation here of the kid getting out of control and the mom coming in to say, behave, better manners, lose some. Hornets +3 went off the favorite. What was the end one there? What was that one? What was the one at the end?
Oh, the Dalmatian, the mom got so mad at the puppy that she came over and put his whole face in her mouth. Did you see that? The puppy's whole head was in the mom's mouth.
Couch, yeah.
Oh, that's unbelievable.
That's great. Here, okay, here
Watch this one right here.
Barking at him on the couch. Knocking it off. Yeah, that's good. That'll shut him up. Yeah, that'll shut him up. That's excellent. Very good. At Hornets +3 went off the favorite. No dice. Thunder 15 up to 18.5. One didn't cover. Knicks 4.5 up to 8.5. Lucky to get the win. Bulls 1.5 up to 3.5.
Oh, God.
More on that coming up. Middle Tennessee, Michigan over 153 up to 159. No good. In a vicious beat. Bulls laying 2 or 2.5 or 3. They led by 22 with 9 minutes left. Come on. And they needed a Vucevic 3 at the buzzer.
Should have lost the game, the way it played out.
Total collapse. Portland out of nowhere. Oh. Another good win for the Bulls. But up 22 with 9 minutes. Come on. Before the line moves, sharp plays already there. They don't just follow the market. They help move it. You're not going to outsmart billion-dollar books or full-time sharps on your own. Jeff and the crew with Follow the Money since day one and at it since 2011. The AI plays up 50 units, unmatched transparency, records updated daily, alerts directly from the pros. Look for the first touchdown tweets later today and the Mr. Poison tweets on Sunday. Trusted by pros, watched by the book, sharpplays.com. Thanks to people tweeting in at 365. Gabe Davis is 24.5. I like it over.
Yeah.
We don't have it right here in Las Vegas. I don't know what the holdup is.
No. Let me give you this. OptaStats tweeted this out after the game last night. The New York Knickerbockers, first team in NBA history, Paulie, to miss, you ready for this? 30-plus threes in a game, along with 15-plus free throws, and still win it in regulation. First team in the history of the sport to do that. Yikes. So we also have college football tonight. I like what you were saying to me. Share this with the audience, because it's true, I mean, about the Thursday night college schedule this year.
It's been a horrible schedule the whole season. Can you think of one marquee matchup we've had? The season's over next week.
It is, yeah.
When's been a big-time Thursday night matchup on college football?
I mean, not that long ago, we had them peppered throughout the entire regular season. So anyway, we're getting Louisiana and Arkansas State tonight. The Red Wolves are favored at home by 2.5. The total is 54. Good breakdown today. VSiN.com, Steve Makinen. So last week, Louisiana faced Texas State. Final score 42-39. And when you look at the betting splits, again on the website here, VSiN.com, DraftKings, a lot of the people betting the game tonight with the total, 66% of the handle is on the over. So that's actually come down a little bit. It was 76% earlier today. But he pointed out that Arkansas State plays a completely different style of game than Texas State. Their combined scores are 49.8 per game compared to TSU's 68 overall. The Red Wolves defense is playing well as of late, 21.3 points per game allowed last 4 games. And he factors this in as well. 2 nice betting systems to go with the under. First, Sun Belt non-Saturday games have gone under the total at a 65% clip since 2015. The overall record is 53, 28, and 1. And number 2, the Sun Belt small home favorite / pick'em in the pick'em to 5.5 point line range. Totals here in the mid-50s to mid-60s. Way under the total since 2015. 43 and 19 overall, 69.4%. I played it under 54 earlier today.
All right, good breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
Ready? Looks like Burrow's going to play.
Yeah. Maybe this weekend.
That's right. That's come down. New England now 6.5 in some spots. Looks like Rodgers could play. He was out there today. The more we get into the season and the more the Eagles struggle, stuff comes out of what's going on with the dynamic and the chemistry. There's a report that multiple players are upset it hurts. What they're doing in practice isn't carrying over to the game. He's not throwing the ball in the tight windows. He's checking it down or taking off and running. That continues to be a problem.
Did you see who called this out today? 2 different former Eagles did.
Seth Joyner was one of them.
Well, that'd make it 3.
Okay.
He's one. Deshaun Jackson said he said this is not X's and O's.
Okay.
Former Eagles great said there is absolutely something between Hurts and Brown off the field.
Got it. Yes.
And then today, WIP, Jason Kelsey said, to tie it in, and kind of taking that angle, he said that there was a disagreement that he had with Lane Johnson. He'd never talked to Lane the entire offseason 1 year. Refused to talk to him.
What?
The entire offseason, not a peep.
Wow.
And so where there is smoke, there's absolutely fire here.
Not good. Not good, my man. Let me share a couple great trends. Christmas 2023. San Francisco, 1-15 ATS off a win. Incredible. Kansas City's the 15th team since 1990 to be 5-5 or worse and favored against a team with this many wins. The previous 14-0 straight up, 12-0-2 ATS.
Wow.
That's your big boy as well. And Sanders making his first start Sunday. The previous 17 Cleveland quarterbacks who made their first start all lost. The last Browns quarterback to win his first start, Eric Zier, 1995.
Oh,
are you kidding me?
Eric Zier.
Good job, Evan Abrams. 0-17 since 1990. Raiders up to 4. Dak, 21-2 straight up at home against the NFC East. 18 in a row.
18. Oh.
That's down to 3.
Wait. So though he is not, that would be
last year,
6 years basically. Then
it wasn't him last year.
That's
He
right.
lost to the Eagles. He was hurt.
Yeah. So it'd be more than 6 years because he's been hurt multiple times actually.
Yeah.
That look ahead number was 4.5. By the way, now Philly's down to 3 in this spot. So let me give you this. You brought that up with Kansas City. If the Colts lose this game, which certainly based on those numbers, and the Chiefs are the Chiefs, and you can see that happening. After that, they play Houston. After that, they play at Jacksonville. Who the hell knows what you're going to get with the Jags? Then they play at Seattle. Then they come back home to San Francisco.
That's a Monday night game.
Yeah. Then they play Jacksonville again. They're at Houston. You see what I'm saying? Like this team we could be looking at a lot of losses here.
Man, but they couldn't slow down Atlanta, too. And Penix.
Probably should have lost that game.
Should have lost that game.
So what does that mean? You want to bet them on the no to miss the playoffs?
No, I'm not going to get that aggressive. But that certainly is going to open things up with Coach of the Year and some other markets too. And let's see if Taylor can keep this going. As high as $4 Offensive Player of the Year. JSN is the first player in history to have 75 yards or more 10 games in a row to start the season.
Wow.
First 10 games, I'll say it that way. So still got a shot for him if he's going to put up $120 every game. That's a tough schedule, I know.
It's very tough, yeah. But also, here's the thing. Like, I'm not going to fire, and I'm not going to tell people to bet Jacksonville to win the division. Because, again, I can't trust that team. You don't know what you're going to get on a weekly basis. Maybe there's an angle. If Houston could somehow shock Buffalo tonight, and it's not the biggest point spread of all time, I would like to see that team get into the playoffs. Wow. Fantasy Football Hall of Famer Paul Charchian coming up next. A running back is expected back this week, but please tell me the team isn't going to screw this up. Find out who we're talking about next here on VSiN.
Sports betting game with VSiN's exclusive betting splits. Stay ahead with real-time market trends and track bet percentages on any matchup. Then uncover the edge by comparing them to the amount of bets placed to find out where the sharp money is headed. Upgrade to VSiN Pro to access betting splits, live odds, line moves, power ratings, and in-depth game analysis. Go to VSiN.com/pro to join VSiN, the sports betting network.
This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
A lot of football to get into as Fantasy Football Hall of Famer, longtime friend of the show, Paul Charchian joins the program now, and he is on the Progressive Guest Line. Charch, good afternoon. Pleasure to talk to you as always, my man. How are you?
I'm doing great, and it is a long time friendship with both of you. I was just I was in Las Vegas last weekend recounting how we all originally met, going way back like 12 years ago.
Ooh, I think it might be
John Hansen when I happened to be at the station. You're at the station you were on at the time, and I needed to borrow their ISDN line. And we've been good friends for a long time. I love you guys.
Yeah, I think you're older than we think. We're all older than you think. It's been way more than 12 years, man.
That might be.
I think it's almost 20.
I bet it has.
Yeah. Anyway,
You're probably right.
Let's begin with this. Okay, so Travion Henderson has 5 touchdowns last 2 games. Just watch the games. He is clearly the best running back here on this entire team. Now, Ramondre Stevenson is in theory back this weekend. Is this team going to screw it up for everybody?
Yep. Yeah, they are.
Oh no.
But Mike Vrabel is a guy who wants to see his players earn their starting time. Ramondre had done it early, and early on it was inconsistent results when they were primarily using Ramondre. But fumbling aside, Ramondre does a lot of things that we know is important to Mike Vrabel, like blocking, key among them. Travion was really bad in a lot of those other areas, but you got to believe after the last 2 weeks that Henderson's done enough to unlock a fair amount of playing time, but I just don't see Vrabel flipping the script and suddenly going with a single back. Now, when he had Derrick Henry, of course, that's exactly what he did, but Travion Henderson is nothing like Derrick Henry. I still think this is going to be a frustrating situation, at least in the near term, where Stevenson's going to get a fair amount of work. Henderson is too, but the great news is they've got the Bengals coming up. You can start both of those guys. You can get paid for both of them. Cincinnati allowing the most fantasy points to running backs, not even close. They're giving up, get this, not only the most rushing yards, they're giving up the most receiving yards to opposing running backs. Both guys can catch. I think there's a scenario here where they both end up with solid box scores. But in terms of any kind of wagering opportunity, I would just let this thing rest and see how this thing works itself out rather than try to second guess how Mike Vrabel's going to go with this. But I'll be shocked if Stevenson does not have a significant role in this game.
It was embarrassing last week against the Steelers, what the dump-offs and how long they went. So what happens now with Burrow and what happens with Chase being suspended?
Right. So Joe Flacco's got a shoulder injury. He might be in worse shape than Burrow is. I think there's a very real chance Burrow starts. I don't think we've had any kind of official word yet. Now, you won't have Jamar Chase, which you mentioned, thanks to the spitting suspension. Mitch and Paulie, have you ever spit on anybody? Have you ever gotten so mad that you spit on somebody?
It's the lowest form of human indecency that you can perform. I love Mike Tomlin's answer.
Yeah, anything goes if someone does that?
He asked if he gave Jalen Ramsey any advice. He goes, I don't have advice. Just act whatever you think is appropriate. That's how you respond.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you do it whenever you want. Now, I, as an older brother, felt obliged, as older brothers should do, to pin down my younger brother and do that bit where he's all pinned down, and then you let the spit come down on his face, and then you suck it up at the last second, and you watch him squirm. Oh, but I let the spit go a little too far, and I couldn't suck it all back up. Yeah. But, rite of passage, I feel like he can't even say that he's fully grown up until after your older brother's done that. I'll say this much. If I were the DoorDash driver for Jamar Chase, I would not show up with cold fries. Just saying.
Yeah.
Good point.
Right. Joe Burrow faces the Patriots. Now, the Patriots, as you and I know, because we've talked about it many times, elite run defense. You're going to see a lot of passing in this game, even without Jamar Chase. Patriots shut down Justin Fields last week, but every team does that. Other quarterbacks that they've seen recently, Baker Mayfield, 3 touchdowns, Michael Penix, 3 touchdowns. Chase is off the field. That leaves New England's star cornerback, Christy Gonzalez. About every third game, they'll have him shadow. This is a shadow game. He's going to shadow Higgins. Burrow's other receivers are not worth shadowing. Andre Yosevich and Mitchell Tinsley and, those, forget that.
Mm-hmm.
So, if it's Burrow here, if Higgins is going to get this tough matchup with Gonzalez, and I don't love the other receivers, I might just wait on Burrow here, see how he looks. He's got to shake off 10 weeks of rust. I don't know. I mean, it's Joe Burrow. He led the NFL in touchdown passes last year. We love him, but I don't know that I feel compelled to bring him into my starting roster in his first game back in this situation without Jamar Chase.
All right. We'll expand on this though, right? Because we're going to get into more player props for tonight and this week, and you might as well tell everybody about this one. Then the Chase Brown angle here that you really like.
I really like Chase Brown. This is my first official prop of this segment. Chase Brown over 26.5 receiving yards against the Patriots. So as I mentioned, nobody can run on the Patriots, the league's best run defense. So we're going to see a lot of passing, and whether it's Flacco on the shoulder or Joe Burrow with the toe, I think it's going to be a lot of short dump off passes to keep those guys upright. And without Jamar Chase, that frees up 12 targets per game, the most in the NFL. Some portion of those 12 targets are going to go to Chase Brown. Now, the Bengals were already top 10 in just 2 running backs in the NFL, almost all the to Chase Brown. And Brown the weeks, 14 targets the last 2 weeks for Chase Brown. Brown has the 8th highest route rate among all running backs in the NFL. Be very involved here. And not only that, his immediate backup, Samaje Perine, out for this game. Chase Brown could very possibly be on the field every single offensive snap.
Oh.
But here's the best reason to take Chase Brown over 26.5 receiving yards. The Patriots really struggling with opposing runners through the air. They have allowed the most running back receptions in the NFL, 6 per game. Patriots giving up the 6th most running back receiving yards, 35 per game to opposing runners. And this really sets up for a solid game for Chase Brown over the 26.5 receiving yards.
Good breakdown, my man. All right, this was under the radar because they got their asses kicked. Brissett set the NFL record for completions. He was 47 of 57 for 452. So with Harrison out again, what do you expect out of Brissett, McBride, and Wilson had a $180 in that game. Now against Jacksonville,
$180 for Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah, unbelievable. And who's not happy for Jacoby Brissett right now, right? I mean, every team he's ever worked with loves Jacoby Brissett. They all say how much, what a pro he is, how much they liked having him on roster. They don't keep him on roster, but he's proving right now this could be a Geno Smith career arc kind of move for him. I think there is at least a coin flip chance Jacoby Brissett is going to end up being a week 1 starter somewhere for some team where the off season doesn't work out quite right for them, and they go to Brissett and hope that Brissett can either hold him off for a year or something. I think Brissett's is gonna end up earning the opportunity here, which is great. A nice opportunity for a good game against a struggling Jacksonville team as well. They haven't seemed to miss really a beat without Marvin Harrison. Trey McBride has proven himself to be the single most important tight end in fantasy football, and he's starting to turn into the most important player in fantasy football because half your league doesn't have a good tight end. He is, they're just pelting him with targets, which is fantastic, and I love it. Just everything about this story is great. I think we're all rooting for Jacoby Brissett and a nice positive matchup here. I've got Brissett as my number 9 ranked quarterback this week. He's 1 spot away from Josh Allen, who we'll talk about more in a little bit.
Wow. Okay. You know what? Brissett probably should be the starting quarterback in Arizona next year. Same spot where he is right now.
As one example.
What do you expect? Paulie, you already bet him the passing yards over. What are we going to get from Shedeur Sanders?
God, you guys watch his, did you watch, how much of his play from last week did you guys see?
I saw the whole thing. They blitzed him every play, so he didn't stand a chance, but we also know he holds the ball too long.
He does hold the ball too long, and they did blitz him every play. Mm-hmm. He had 21 dropbacks, 4 completions. Think about how hard it is to do that. The 2 sacks, the horrible interception, accuracy bad, held the ball too long. How about this? The pocket breaks down. Shedeur Sanders turns his back to his offense. He starts running the other way. Unless you're Fran Tarkenton, do not run away from your offense. With a full week of practice, Sanders has the right to get better, but he's going to face the Raiders, who only do a couple of things particularly well. One of them is Max Crosby rushing the opposing quarterback. He's so bad under pressure. Shedeur's going to introduce all new ways for the Browns to lose games. He's siphoning off with limited fantasy value there already was in Cleveland. The guys, like Jerry Jeudy and Harold Fant and David Njoku, who all to me are not startable anymore. And here's something really deflating about this. Let's say Shadur's awful. Dylan Gabriel stays concussed. Next man up, Deshaun Watson.
Oh, no.
He's coming back from his Achilles. We might not be done with the Deshaun Watson era. May come back.
Oh, please. Oh. We all need that. We have to see that happen. We really do. All right, well, unbelievable stuff. We'll continue here with Fantasy Football Hall of Famer Paul Charchian. He's on the Progressive guest line. He has a lot that he likes coming up tonight between the Bills and the Texans, including a player that he is going to suggest that we all ladder his props for tonight. Find out who it is next.
VSiN's player prop projection tool is now available for the NBA. Get projections for points, assists, rebounds, and more powered by Opta AI. On VSiN.com/NBA props, we line up our projections against the latest DraftKings odds so you can quickly spot mismatches and find value before the market adjusts. The NBA player prop projections tool is available exclusively to VSiN Pro subscribers. Check it out now at VSiN.com/NBA props and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
Check out Stormy and JVT on Money Moves, only on VSiN.
And maybe that's why they wouldn't, because they're the Giants and they don't do things that make sense.
Out of all these divisions, this is the one that I am the most curious about because I do think there are positive signs for the Bears.
They'll take you on a fun, fast-paced journey, weaving in everything you need to know to make an educated bet, while also not shying away from the excitement of a same-game parlay sweat. Money Moves, weekdays at 2 p.m. Eastern on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
We continue here with Fantasy Football Hall of Famer Paul Charchian as he is on the Progressive guest line. All right, Charch, into tonight's game here. Bills on the road against a great Texans defense. Now, this point spread was as high as 6.5 some spots yesterday, now 5.5. The total's actually gone up to 44.5 here. But let's get right to it here. I told the audience that there's a player that you love so much you want to ladder him tonight. Who is it?
Yeah, it's Woody Marks. This is the Houston running back. I don't think most of the nation knows that Woody Marks is even the starter, let alone that he's pretty darn good. They've really transitioned over the last month from Nick Chubb to Woody Marks. Marks has gotten triple the usage of Nick Chubb over the last 3 weeks. Now, last week, it felt like a smash spot against the Titans, and Marks flopped. And honestly, I'm fine with that because this gives us a better opportunity this week at a lower number. Is over on rushing yards, 61.5. I think this is ladderable up to 100 yards. At 100 yards, Woody Marks is plus 370. That's a nice number. The anytime touchdown is plus 125, which isn't super compelling, but it's in play here. And I'll tell you more about it in a second. Buffalo is about the worst run defense in the league. They've allowed the second most fantasy points to runners, but more importantly, just look at last week. They got destroyed by Sean Tucker, 140 yards and 3 touchdowns. Game before that, Buffalo giving up 225 yards and 2 touchdowns to Devon Achane. They've allowed rushing touchdowns in 8 straight games. 8. Marks looks like the touchdown guy. He has gotten Houston's last 3 carries from inside the 4-yard line have all gone to Woody Marks, not Nick Chubb. And this season, Nick Chubb 0 for 4 on his carries inside the 5-yard line. He didn't score on any of those 4. So I think Chubb has lost the confidence of the coaching staff as a touchdown option. So if they get the ball inside the 5-yard line, 4-yard, 3-yard, I think Woody Marks is going to get those carries like he has the last 3 times they've had rushes inside the 4-yard line. They've all gone to Woody Marks. So I like Marks here. This is a defense that gives a run defense that gives us explosive plays, 3rd most explosive runs, 10 or more yards have given up by the Buffalo Bills. Woody Marks tonight over the 61.5 rushing yards. And I think you can ladder him up to 100 to get a piece of that plus 370.
You okay with Nico Collins? He's been good. Mills has been good.
Oh, he's been great. And God bless Davis Mills. If I'm Davis Mills and I'm just trying to get tape out there of me having some level of success, I would do exactly what he's doing. I'd throw the ball to Nico Collins constantly. He's had 3 games where he's gotten most of the work, and he's pelted Nico Collins with 11, 15, and 11 targets. I would do the same thing. Nico Collins is the only game-breaking player on that entire offense, really. And Collins has got, with that many catches against a really middle-of-the-pack Buffalo secondary, there's going to be some opportunities for him. I didn't love the number. I didn't feel like it was a bettable number, but I still really like Nico Collins and think this is, if Houston's going to find a way to win, Collins is going to be a big part of that.
Okay. Very good. How about the Bills angle? That was a weird game last week. 10 different Bills at a target. Shakir had 1 catch. Shavers went off.
Yeah.
Gabe Davis came back and had 40 yards. Now you got Coleman benched again. No Samuel. So what does Allen do here through the air?
Well, he's not going to do a lot. And I'd like to talk about the receivers too, but let's get to one of my favorite props for tonight, which is Josh Allen under 224.5 passing yards. I hate taking unders on superstar players because obviously, Josh Allen's great. He just scored 6 touchdowns. So, and I'll preface my comments on these stats I'm going to give you by noting the Texans have played a soft schedule of opposing passers, but their level of dominance is unreal. Get a load of some of these metrics for the Houston Texans pass defense. 9 straight opponents have failed to reach Josh Allen's number of 224.5. 9 straight.
Wow.
In the last month, no opposing quarterback has topped 194 passing yards. No opposing quarterback has topped 213 passing yards in 7 straight games. They've given up just 10 passing touchdowns in 10 games this year. And for Josh Allen, who chips in rushing help all the time, no opposing quarterback has scored on the ground against Houston. Now, Allen faced Houston last year, 131 passing yards and 1 passing touchdown. He's been under this line, 224.5 passing yards, 5 times this year. 5 times. And this is his toughest matchup of the year. And it's not like Buffalo's got a superstar receiver. Paulie, to your point, they've got this collage of guys that none of whom can just like exert his will over the Houston defense. You mentioned no Keon Coleman. Khalil Shakir is going to play through ankle and rib injuries. By the way, he just had his first child this week. Do you see what they named him?
No.
Sunny Haven.
Sunny Haven?
I don't know, man. That's just, to me, Sunny Haven. I don't know. You're just, to me, that's, you're putting your kid in a tough spot right there. Granted, you've got the genetic material of an NFL player, which is great. But now your name's Sunny Haven for the rest of your life? That ain't great.
You know what? I kind of like it.
I was at a convention once in Las Vegas where I met a guy named Koala. And I'm talking to him about it. And like, how do you end up with the name of Koala? And he's like, oh, my parents were hippies. They thought that'd be really cool. And I get a few drinks into him. And then he admits later on in the evening, his middle name is Bear. They named him Koala Bear. And his last name was like Jalikowski. So it was like Koala Bear Jalikowski. It was really bad.
Okay.
Parents, don't do that to your kids.
Yeah.
Man. That's not great. Anyway, Josh Allen under 224.5 passing yards feels very obtainable to me.
Yeah, that, you know what? I'm here for like under on everything with him, the completions, the attempts, the yards, 9 of 30 against this defense. I mean, this might be the best defense in the entire league. So another one here that you like on Sunday, Vikings, your Minnesota Vikings are taking on the Green Bay Packers in Lambeau Field, and the Packers are a 6.5-point favorite. I've had a problem for like 2 years trying to pinpoint which receiver to attack, but it looks like now Christian Watson's a guy that you need to at least look at every single week. Would you agree?
Yep. He's turned into the most bankable receiver the Packers have out of the collage of guys they've got. Leads the team since his return in week 8. Leads the team in routes run, air yards, snaps, and he's running almost even with Romeo Doubs in targets as well. He's a deep ball specialist, Christian Watson. We're going to pick our spot on this for Christian Watson. I'm going to go over the 23.5 longest reception, 23.5 yards, longest reception. And if he can connect on that, I like the anytime touchdown, although I couldn't find a listing for it yet, but I'm interested in what that should be sitting at. I'm going to guess around 150. Deep ball specialist. Among all NFL starting receivers, Christian Watson ranks number 1 in deepest average pass, 23.5 yards. That's his number. His line is 23.5 yards. The Vikings allowing the 9th deepest average pass, and more specifically, on passes over 20 yards, the Vikings rank 31st in completion percentage, second worst. The average completion on passes of over 20 yards against the Vikings is 35 yards. They're getting killed on these deep balls. And here's a deep ball specialist coming. The Vikings secondary shorthanded at cornerback. They're using off-the-couch journeyman Fabian Moreau as their third cornerback. If Watson gets that matchup, it's over and you get the touchdown. Christian Watson over 23.5 yard longest reception.
Dynamite breakdown. First book I looked at, FanDuel, plus 210 anytime touchdown for Christian Watson.
Oh, I like that better.
You like that better?
Good. There we go.
Yeah,
Let's bring that in. Yep,
that is,
like that bring that in.
I mean, when you watch the games, by the way, with Green Bay, it can be maddening because Love will throw off his wrong foot 50 yards down the field in the triple coverage, but more times than not, the guy he's looking at is Christian Watson.
Yep.
You know?
And he's the only guy out of that group that I would ever want to put any of my money towards because just everybody else are just epic ball droppers. Good God.
Yep.
Romeo Doubs, Dontavian Wicks, just grade A ball droppers. They want nothing to do with catching passes. It's a tough spot. Jordan Love takes a lot of heat for that, and he earns a lot of heat, but those are bad. Those are bad spots.
Okay, so in the previous segment, by the way, you said Jacoby Brissett could be a week 1 starter in the NFL next year. I said, well, how about the team he's on right now? To go full circle.
Absolutely.
How about Minnesota?
Oh, man, if it's come to that, everything's gone horribly wrong for J.J. McCarthy. And right now, the frustrating part of McCarthy right now is through the 5-game sample size, try to find that little thing you're hoping for that looks great and he can expand on. There are a lot of good quarterbacks in the NFL whose first 5 games weren't great, Josh Allen. But you see elements that make them look requisite of a first rounder. Mm-hmm. I can't find those spots in a JJ McCarthy's game yet. And I'm getting worried there isn't something special in this kid. It's still way too early to know for sure, but by now, most of the great quarterbacks are showing signs of greatness, and we're just not getting it out of JJ McCarthy. I don't know. Maybe it is Jacoby Brissett, and those two battle in the preseason to see who starts the season.
Yeah, well said. Totally agree, man.
Boy.
Follow him on X. He's at Paul Charchian. We'll talk to you next Wednesday, right before Thanksgiving.
You got it. Thanks, friends. Talk to you then. Bye-bye.
Bye, pal. Have a great week. There you go. Paul Charchian on the Progressive guest line. Up next, best bets in soccer. We're going to get analysis, why he likes the bets. The meat man, Steve Wiss, on the program coming up here on VSiN.